because it only feels like yesterday we were here. It's gone really quick this year, hasn't it? I'll tell you what I've just seen, walking through the halls, and I thought, that's the classic motor show. I just see 6 guys, and I took a picture of it, I'll put it up on social later. 6 guys, not related to each other, all standing there in silence, just staring at a Peugeot 205 GTI. And I thought, that's it, that's the classic motor show right there. Right, I'm going to bring out some TV buddies, some chums, some people in the media that you'll be familiar with, or we'll introduce you to them for the first time. And we're going to give you a little peek behind the curtain of what it is to make a TV show or a YouTube channel, and the successes and the failures you can have along the way. So without further ado, let's welcome my little son for the weekend. We've got to love him this morning. He's been working tirelessly hard. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Kersten.
Hello everyone. Alright Dad. Alright.
Hold out your hand. He's made a career out of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then secondly, I'm going to bring out none other than Mr. Fifth Gear, but now the late great show, Jonny Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
You saw me about 5 minutes ago. It's okay, I thought I'd come out.
And from the One Show and classic car years, everything else to do with motoring on television that doesn't involve us, please welcome Mr. Alex Riley. Alex thought it was Goodwood, the revival. He thought we were all meant to dress in pre-war clothing. He never got the memo that it's just casual. But that
It's not pre-war, what do you mean?
that is genuinely pre-war.
That's bonkers, that's bonkers.
There's not one bit of that didn't come out of a charity shop. That all came, you can't walk into a high street shop.
I do a bit for charity. That's what I'm doing.
Exactly, a bit for charity.
Oxford,
And us lot couldn't survive if there wasn't backroom staff, if there wasn't people that had the brains to put these kind of TV shows, YouTube channels together. So we've got one, an executive producer, a guy that owns his own company and is creating car shows that you all know and love. Please welcome on stage Mr. Jim Wiseman, ladies and gentlemen.
Jim Wiseman. I love Jim Wiseman.
Right, now before we get started, Alex and Jim, block your bums down. Anyone here a little bit, Jonny and Alex, come follow me. Anyone here a little bit windy? Windy,
yeah.
windy, you windy?
Is anyone got a car?
You need an air
old
freshener.
cheese. Yeah.
Yes, you got a cheesy car?
Who wants an air freshener that smells of old cheese?
There you go, sir. Have one of my lovely air fresheners. There you go, mate. They are black cherry as well. You got a Wheeler Dealer t-shirt on, so you have to. And apparently you're a little bit big guppy.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Courtesy of our friends at the Wires, please have an air freshener without us. There you go. Everyone likes a bit of free stuff, shouldn't they?
You want one, do you? Oh, yeah, you're abusing your position.
I like a t-shirt. We've got a new range this year.
Has been
A new range. Whoever here
Somewhere
wants
you're killing 10 minutes, isn't it? When you go to
Anybody?
Oh, he has. Yeah. I've given all of mine out. I have as well.
Was that like on stage? Oh, you got one, sir. I like that. It was like, you know, you just went, I walked up to one guy to give him one, Jonny. I walked up to this fella to give him one, and he just pulled out from his inner pocket. He went,
Oh, he's already got one.
as he's already got one, he just went.
Joe, that was like air freshener, drag racing between us. I have to give him that.
There you go, sir.
But Mike, did you still give him one?
Yeah. Easy, boys. Easy. Right. There you go, you two.
Are you trying
Look
to
at
say
you two. Right,
that
so.
these people have got smelly cars? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Do you know the worst thing
Cars
is?
stink and they need to do something
This
about
way,
it.
yeah.
That's rude.
The worst thing
I don't like air fresheners anyway.
A wet car is that a week later it really does smell bad. And I left the windows down on my car the other night. There was a thunderstorm. Terrible idea. Yes. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose.
Did it make the YouTube channel? Is it anything to do with TV?
No, it's not
Right, well then we don't talk about it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so this lot in front of you, we've all been at some point of our lives, YouTube, television, the internet, we've all had that career built out of doing that, so we thought we'd give you a little peek behind the curtain of what it is to make a TV show and what it feels like. Wheeler Dealers is now in its 20th year of making Wheeler Dealers.
Come on. Achievement.
And being years makes it, doesn't it? 20 years. So to make a show for 20 years, obviously, you have to stick to a rigid format and a great team behind you. But these guys, I mean, little Alex here, Alex has started up a brand new channel on the internet, and already he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, views in the millions. Jonny as well has come off of Fifth Gear and he's now got his own show on YouTube. So let's go through this one bit at a time. Let's start with you, Alex. So how difficult is it to create a brand new channel and to bring in an audience that are going to engage with you?
So for me, it's maybe a little bit different because obviously I've been working for Car Throttle, or I had been working for Car Throttle for about 10 years. So started back in 2012-ish when YouTube was just starting to take off. So helped grow the channel to about 3 million subscribers. This year in May, I decided, you know what, I'll go freelance, I'll start my own thing. So I did already have that, 10 years of YouTube to kind of learn the ropes and get an audience, build a kind of fan base. And in May, with my first video, which was titled, Yep, I've officially left Car Throttle, that video, which you'll understand is unheard of, but I gained 250,000 subscribers from one video. Like, that doesn't really happen.
Well, that takes years.
It does,
takes years.
Yeah. So it was really nice that everyone who followed me on Car Throttle and also on Instagram, also Alex, they kind of just jumped across because it's new, it's exciting. But for people who are starting out, it can be very difficult because the market is so saturated. Everyone's got a mobile phone with a really great camera and good audio. Everyone,
they can't use it. Most people can't use that.
That's true.
That good audio.
You've got warp stabilisation, you've got everything like that. But
So it doesn't walk anymore.
No.
It's not unstable walking. It's stable. What is warp stabilisation?
It's just when you're holding the phone like that. Back in the day when you had a potato phone.
Yes.
And it was all grainy and all very wobbly. We just sort all that stuff out, GoPros especially. But like I was saying, the market's so saturated. There are so many new YouTubers popping up here and there and everywhere. TikTok, you can get a big following as well. But for me, it's obviously tough, as you know, Johnny. But I had, a bit of a head start really. Okay. Into the world.
Well, look, this leads me nicely on to Johnny. So Johnny, you've come from the world of television. So you were a television presenter. You've done Fifth Gear for many years, lots of other car shows as well. So you've now taken what was a television career and you're now putting yourself in your own television show that goes out on YouTube. How difficult is that? Because you've come from a world where you've had producers, executive producers, network producers, you've had researchers, associate producers, runners, people to look after. Jim knows what I'm talking about, we're going to get to that for Jim. You've had all of that and then it all ends up that you're just Jonny Smith and a camera.
I know what an idiotic move that was.
But you have to see the problem, and this is what I want to get to. You have to maintain a level of professionalism because you want people to find your network. How do you do it?
I think we're coming from like TV going into YouTube. The first thing you have to consider is the fact that YouTube doesn't have a series and then it ends and then you wait and then there's another one. So the traditional method of TV, you make a series, you edit it, you sign it off, you give it to the channel and then they put it out when they want to put it out, and then it's all over and it's exciting, and then they wait. People will wait for half a year or something. In the case of Top Gear, it could be half a year or something like that, and then it goes again. There's no dip with YouTube. People just go, I watched it, when's the next one? I watched it, when's the next? It's like a really aggressive drug addict. Yeah. But without drugs.
Yeah.
And so they go, I've had it, I like it, can I have another one? I've had it, I want another one. Yeah. And the relentlessness of it is that I find, I'm sure you do, you've done it for longer than I did, it's the biggest challenge. But also going from TV to YouTube, for me personally, I thought I have to set a production standard that people will be familiar with, and it doesn't feel like I've fallen off a cliff. Yeah. If I filmed everything myself and did it in a vlog fashion, which suits an awful lot of people, and there's a lot of very successful vloggers out there that do everything themselves, I thought I'd do a bit of that, but mostly it would be a standard you could put on a TV and it doesn't look rubbish. Yeah. So in a way, I made life harder for myself by setting that standard. But that said, if you get it right, the rewards are great. You can have a huge amount of views in a couple of days or a week, which in the TV days that I worked in, you'd be lucky to get that. Yeah. And of course, it stays out there permanently. Yeah. So there's pros and cons, but I tell you what, Mike, I bloody miss having lots of people doing stuff for me.
Yeah, getting stuff for you. Which leads me on nicely to Alex. So Alex, does it mean that me and you are basically dead? Where careers are, I said we're dinosaurs, aren't we? Because we are traditional TV makers. I have no idea what he just said. honestly, I don't think half the audience does. So for us, because you're doing the one show, the Classic Car Years, you do proper TV with the runners, the researchers, all the people, the executives. Doesn't mean we're finished. This is the future.
You know, right? We've got the mortgage and the kids and the
Exactly.
family and stuff like that, and it's hard, it's a struggle. I mean, but how much does it cost you to actually set yourself up as a YouTuber?
Oh, a lot. I mean, I made no money for a year. I invested all my time and all my money for a whole year. So it's just like starting a business. If anyone out there has ever started their own business, you have to write off a portion of money and time, an enormous amount of time, to go, this is what I'm going to do to get myself going. You've got to spool up the turbo, haven't you?
Yeah.
And then once the turbo's spooled up, hopefully it's easier.
Yeah.
But yes.
But I think that there is still a place for television programs because, you know, look at Mike, 20 years on, no sign of him taking his foot off the pedal.
Well, possibly. There might be a little sign that I might want to ease off the throttle pedal.
Just let me know, right? I'm ready, I'm waiting.
Alex is ready. We've been building Alex up not only to take over me on TV, but to also take over me on the show. As you can see, we brought him in this year, and he's calling himself Mike Brewer's son.
Can I just point out as well, so I'm a YouTuber on a normal road, I buy crap cars for 500 quid. It is so surreal to be on a panel with these TV titans and to sit next to, you know, Mike Brewer, my TV dad. It's just amazing.
Just get down and do a spot of watershed.
Don't do that. Jim. Right, so Jim Weissman, if you look at the credits of some shows, you'll see Jim pop up. Now, Jim famously was, what was your role in Top Gear that the Clarks never made? What was
Well, I started as a researcher and then went up to producer.
Right, so he was a producer in the Clarks and Haven't Made period, the best period of Top Gear ever. And then, unfortunately, Jim was also the producer in the Chris Evans, Joey LeBlanc period. So tell us about that.
Well, it's the first time in public that I've come out about
Yes,
this. So,
I know it is like a coming out,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
yeah, I mean, very different experiences. And I think the whole thing
I don't
actually
know what
comes,
you mean.
the whole thing actually
Chris
comes
Evans is great at a car show.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
the whole thing came, for me, is encompassed by social media arriving in the 15 years between Top Gear and, let's call it Top Gear 2.1, whatever it was. A disaster.
Police Academy 5 is sort of
very much so. Yeah, exactly.
No one actually cared
So
about
essentially, I was there at series 1 of the readventure when we found Dunsfold and all of the things, and the Suzuki Liana. I remember the press release coming through and going, that's our shitbox for the celebrities and things like that. So, but we got 2 goes at it because there was no social media, and the first series, and it is on iPlayer, is shit. And so we got another go at it, but there was no social media. And I just remember my one abiding memory of the Evans era is show 1, where we're like, ooh, might be alright, let's see, laptop, hashtag Top Gear, and just pages of bio, just it didn't stop, just, oh, there's another page, oh, that's page 60, 70, not one positive thing. And it's kind of that, and in the interim, that's what's happened between traditional telly and web.
So what, I mean, first of all, are you on Chris Evans' Christmas card list?
No.
No, it's
Well,
not enough.
I mean,
It's not enough. And what must that be like? You know, I mean, I wake up every day where somebody calls me a fat twat or whatever, so I've just got used to that. That's just your life. That's Michelle. Yeah, that's just Michelle. So what that must be like to have this hugely successful global format and to wake up knowing that you're possibly at the helm of that and it's trashed. It must have been really difficult.
I mean, I wasn't quite at the helm of it. Chris found himself in charge of it.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to throw him under the bus, but it was.
Go for it. No, you can throw me.
No, it was. So essentially, so the parents divorced, and a lot of my friends and former colleagues joined Grand Tour, and I on this. in retrospect, ill-advised moral crusades, thought, no one's bigger than the club. I'll go back to Top Gear because I love Top Gear and I love, you know, I grew up watching Quentin and Goffey and all of that, and to work on that when I got the job in 2002, I remember driving my girlfriend's Vauxhall Belmont and punching the air.
Sweet. I went to Belmont.
Yeah,
Put your hand up if you went to Belmont.
Thinking man's Astra.
Astra
So,
with a boot.
very easy to nick, unfortunately. I lost it a couple of times. The club of Top Gear, if you like, was a stronger pull than going to, and ill-advised, obviously, in retrospect, was more of a pull than doing the same thing for. For me, it was like he had punched one of my friends.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Top Gear, and it was obviously the wrong decision short term, but it's getting on its feet now. You know, everyone's got an opinion. Christ, we know about that, but it's kind of
It's great. I love the new Top Gear. But I want everyone here. Sorry, Jim, I'm going to stick you on the spot because we have got a sixth presenter up on the stage, but you can't see him. But if everyone shuts their eyes, genuinely shut your eyes. Jim Wiseman, please introduce Quentin Wilson for us.
what I think.
Yeah, the impression.
Oh no.
Ready?
No, because he's here, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Here.
No, he's not. You can do
Are
it.
you sure he's not here?
Yeah,
He's
he's not
here.
here. Go on, he's
He's gonna be
matter.
here. He's
I'll
here in
do it.
spirit.
I'll do it. He handles like the Duchess's tea trolley. That's my
But
version.
basically,
Right
yeah.
now, shut your eyes and listen to Quincy on stage. Ready?
Yes, I know. I don't. Lowest score on Strictly Come Dancing. No one's ever got lower.
Yes, that is Uncle Quinton. I was with Quinton actually this week, and it was great to see him again.
He's a lovely man.
He
by
is
the
a
way.
lovely man.
He is a
I
lovely
know.
man.
I know people. Some people dislike him for whatever reason, but he is genuinely. Oh, he's a lovely, lovely.
His
man.
heart's in the right place, it really is. Right, so, future of television. Let's talk about that in just a second. But I just realised we've got some clips, haven't we, Martin? Let's play a clip of a show, and we can discuss it. Which one is it? If it's Alex doing my impression, that's quite funny.
That's what put me up on the stage, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what got you here.
What was that? Oh, is that the whole?
Seriously, that's the first time I've tried it. Simon wants us to turn this into a 3 litre BMW Z4. What have I done? Are you joking? No, I'm not kidding. Are you actually serious? I took it on, I said, yeah, right.
It's the worst car I think I've ever seen. Look at it. It's battered on pretty much every panel.
It gets worse.
It gets worse than that.
It gets a lot worse. It's a petrol, not the split after diesel. You would have loved it. It's got the American gearbox, the auto gearbox as well.
What's the point? And it's disgusting. I mean, I hope he's given you a massive bundle of cash to go with it.
Well, listen, he scraped around to get some money, and he managed to give us 1,500 quid. So on the way back, I've been thinking, right, £300 for a bumper, it's going to cost 500 quid to do that wing, the wind mirror on the other side is broken. We'll be spending £1,500 making this a £500 car. So there must be an alternative.
Well, I mean, there is an alternative, isn't there? We know there is. I hate to say it, but I never like saying these words, but you can scrap it.
This car is screaming out to be scrapped, it really is.
I mean, listen, I've got a mate of mine who is actually a VW specialist. He does break cars down. I'll give him a ring, might get a few hundred quid out of it. Let's give it a go, mate.
Might have to get traded.
It's unbelievable.
Now that was a genuine reaction. We just shot that as I arrived, and I tried to hoot it before I turned up. It was the first time, so that's what got us off on the giggles. That was probably only 2 takes at that because we were just laughing so much at it. It stank. You know, I've been giving you those air fresheners. Honestly, that car. The poor guy Simon. I apologise if he can hear me in this audience. It stank of bin juice inside. Of what? Bin juice. You know that bin juice smell. Honestly, it was rancid, that car. We ended up breaking it off and getting 350 quid for the gearbox, the engine, and other parts that went to live on other lines. But it was screaming out as I was driving the car back. You could hear the car trying to become cans of pedigree chum. It was calling out. It wanted to become pet food cans. It was screaming out for it. So
I thought it was my brother's car. My brother's got a really similarly bad car to that.
well, I couldn't believe that somebody actually would drive that and think it's okay. You know, I said to him, "What happened to the petrol flap?" As he was handing me the car, what happened to the petrol flap? He said, "It was there an hour ago." so it was there an hour ago, and somehow it just volunteered itself away from the car. I think it just said, "No, I'm not being on this car anymore. I'm off. I'm off."
Can I just say, next time you have one of those, can you offer it to me? 'Cause
Yes.
I'll buy it. I'll daily drive that.
Yeah, daily shitbox for Alex Kersten. There you go. So yeah, I mean, putting shows together like that, there is a little thing we have to do in television. If I've said that we are going to do, I'm going to turn that car into a BMW Z4 for that guy, and I've said it, so the cameras are running, and the words have been uttered out of my mouth. We as a television production company, Jim and knows this very wisely, we have to do it. So somehow I've got to turn that into a £12,000. So I'll start off with 1,500 quid and a ball of crap, and I have to turn it into an 11 grand car in 42 minutes.
Wow.
And it's like, you know, they all look at me, all the crew, the likes of the gyms, look at me and go, "Go on then. Go on, get in there, go on, you big Jackie monkey, you can do it." And I'm like, you know, I might need a bit of help.
Hang on, that 12 grand Z4 is currently in the climate that we're living in is an 18 grand.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Do we have another clip? One of these boys. Sake, Alex, not again.
Oh, it's the war.
You don't shake my hand, it's not legally binding. Let me just. Right, let's get this tyre pumped up and then we'll go for a little drive. When I say we'll go for a little drive, we're going to set up the camera in the car and it'll just be me. Jack, you can wait here and cut this man's hedge. Car needs doing. 191,000 miles on the clock. Let's have a look. What are we working with? 10.5 PSI. We're going like that. Right, so while Jack was getting all the shots, he actually noticed something that looks very much like a train horn. So let's see if it actually is and if it works. Right, hello everyone and welcome to my £150 BMW E39. I've always wanted an E39. The dream for me, right, would be a touring 530 petrol, you know, the one with a dirty single exit exhaust. Anyway, this is a 525D, which is awesome as well because the 6-cylinder diesel is like one of the best things in the world. Alright, oil service inspection, I think you're about 4 years overdue. Under here, there's a whole bunch of cars, self-sitting. Big up yourself, self-sitting. Let's go for a drive in a £150 E39 525D and see what's what, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, how good is that? Little Alex 8, and that's...
Oh, thank you, Dad.
How good is that? Well, you think about it, the show that you see before has about 30 people behind it. Wheeler Dealers and that Dream Car episode. That's Alex and his mate with a camera.
How do we get more views?
And it got more views, and it's just as engaging, and that's the difference between the two, and why this is definitely the future. That's a great little show, and that was a fantastic car.
That was a really good car, actually. So it was owned by a guy who was going back to, I think, Hong Kong, and he just sent me a message on Instagram saying, "Alex, I know you like shitboxes. How about this one for 150 quid? I'm a sucker for an old BMW." So I met him at my local petrol station, and I picked it up and I drove it home. And
That sounds like some sort of county lines meeting.
Yeah.
Did you check the thing?
Oh yeah, it was full of cars.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Just made a killing off that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that video cost about 150 quid to make because that's what I paid for the car, and then it's a 1.5 million views episode. It's just incredible. People love cheap, affordable, relatable content. That's what I enjoy doing. You know, you enjoy more resto mods and looking into the future.
Well, I don't really cover supercars on my show because there's an enormous amount of other YouTubers that do supercars and they do them very well. But I find that my audience tends to prefer stuff that's slightly more relatable, or the base car is more relatable, even if the transformation is aspirational. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if I was to put something out on an early Cortina, it would get way more views than it would if it was the latest McLaren.
Yeah.
That's just the way. And I also felt that the world of supercars has got quite saturated and, frankly, a little bit vacuous and boring.
Yeah, absolutely right. Name some names.
Well, it's true though, isn't it? Why would you have 1,000 horsepower on 445 tyres when you could have 200 horsepower on 185s? It feels more leery. You can park it. Nobody throws eggs at you. You don't look like a complete penis in London. So,
And I think that's the thing that we agree on. We don't really buy into the unobtainium.
Yeah.
We like to buy our cars, we like to drive them, we like to show them off.
Yeah.
And like I said, relatable content. They watch, especially my content. If I buy a £500 car, you and your mates can watch the video on a Thursday, and then on Saturday.
Steve, sell the Hurricane. No, Steve, no, seriously, sell the Lamborghini Hurricane. Yeah, cheers, mate.
Sorry, I'm not.
I don't still, like, for example, in the car units, for example, the episode that we did for 1992 with the Jaguar XJ220, that garnered a huge response from an audience because we were telling the story of this car that had a terrible reputation, and it was tarnished by the time it was in.
Yeah.
And telling that story is really cool. I mean, all the tweets I did of that car got more likes. I mean, a fraction of what you guys get, but people love that sort of stuff. So you take away the fact that this is a brand new car and it costs $1 million or whatever and all that. Yeah, that's not relatable. People aren't interested. When you put it into context, it's a classic, and you talk about it when it was new, what it represented, what was happening in the car world, what was happening in that company. Suddenly people are interested because it's a great story. It's cultural.
That just brings me back round before I end this to exactly what I said when I walked down stage. I just walked past 6 guys, unrelated to each other, all standing in that corridor there, in silence, staring at a Peugeot 205 GTI. And I just thought, that is just brilliant. I took a picture of it, I thought that is the classic car show, and that's what it means to people.
I just seen an Allegro Turbo, and that was the best thing I've seen here. If you think I've filmed a lot of supercars, and they do get a little bit. But seeing an Allegro reminds me of my granddad buying one for new, my grandma walking dog shit into it on day one, onto the new carpets. But also the resto mod of that, you suddenly go, bloody Nora, that looks fantastic.
Allegro Turbo, you're talking my language.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at it. It's brilliant.
Ladies and gentlemen,
like an MG Metro.
I hope you enjoyed that little peek behind the curtain of what's happening in the media world in terms of television and in terms of what's happening on YouTube. Please put your hands together for a fantastic audience. Jim Wiseman, ladies and gentlemen, Alex Riley, Jonny Smith, and Alex Kersten. If you want to meet Jonny, it's really simple. If you look just behind where you're standing or sitting, you can see the Late Break Show tent. Jonny's got merchandise over there. Come and see Jonny and go and look at that lovely curation of cars he's put together. If you want to see Alex and grab a picture or selfie with Alex, he can make his way over to the Wheeler Dealer merchandise shop where you're going to find me for the next 30 minutes as well. I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to be back on stage later on this afternoon with some more entertainment for you. But in the meantime, enjoy the show. See you in a bit. Ta-da!